So, guys, I know that most of my channel is just centered around, me doing reaction videos to anime, and doing some review videos. But I know that, as I've stated before in a past video a few months ago, that there's a lot of anime out there that I know that I can't react to, but I can definitely watch on the side, and I can definitely do review videos for it. So, if you're here on the channel to hear me talk about and watch a video of me talking about a review for anime on a specific anime, definitely stick around on the channel. But if you're here for just reactions, definitely stick around on the channel. But this is my review of this new anime that came out roughly, I want to say 2 weeks ago, because it's only 2 episodes out so far, called Spirited Chronicles. And it's definitely an interesting anime just after me watching the very first episode. And this is my review of episode 1 of Spirited Chronicles. Let's get into it, guys. Now I won't get into everything that occurred and happened in this episode, but just specifically key things that I found very interesting. And I want to also correct my own statement at the beginning of this video that it's the anime is called Seirei Gensouki or Gensouki Spirit Chronicles. And this episode, literally like 54 seconds into this episode, even, now again, technically 15 seconds and 20 seconds in, we see the character that you saw at the beginning, basically older version of himself. His name was Haru, and he's having a conversation with this. He's a child. They're both children at the time, from what I could tell, because he's I guess he's thinking about this memory, I guess, and of his childhood, and he was having this conversation with his childhood friend Michan, and she didn't want him to move because I guess his parents wanted him to move away, and he's like, we will always be together. I'll come back. We'll get married, and we'll be together. And he says it. He says this though. He says, even if I die, I'll still be there to protect you. He was on this train, right? As his older self, roughly, I guess 10, maybe 5 years, 6, 7, in between 5 to 10 years later, he's on this train riding. He looks over to his left, sees this little girl staring at him. But the key thing to note is that she looks away from him, and then the I'm sorry, the bus. I said train. The bus decides to want to veer, like something happens that causes the bus to veer and go in a different direction by accident, and then it ends up running into this train, and this train crashes, right? Literally 60 seconds in. And he, like I said, in that memory of him, I guess he was thinking about it. He says to Michan, even if I die, I'll be there to protect you. That's just something that just stood out to me, that he was thinking about this memory. And this occurs literally 60 seconds and like 55 seconds into the episode. And then things get very interesting 30 seconds later. Now, once the scene shifts to this specific scene where this little boy wakes up from his sleep and he starts talking to himself, he literally says to himself, like, who am I? He says, am I Haru or am I Rio? And it seems to me that this boy is a reincarnation of Haru, and he just once that train accident happened, he died and got reincarnated. Now again, that was my thought, but as the episode moves on, we kind of get that explanation a little bit in episode 1. But he wakes up in this place. It's called the Kingdom of Beltram, and he's basically like on the outskirts of the kingdom, It's year 991 of the Holy Era. It's early spring. Like I said, he wakes up. Haru basically wakes up reincarnated as this kid named Rio, and he like I said, these memories are still kind of fresh in his mind because he's trying to wake up, because he just woke up. He's trying to wake himself up, and but again, he's still asking himself, am I Haru? Am I Rio? And he's trying to figure out what's really going on in this moment in time. But then things get even more interesting, moving a bit forward more in episode 1. Now, a few minutes later, as Rio basically leaves from the home that he woke up in, he goes outside. He starts to pick some berries. He's trying to really figure out some things. He remembers another memory from, again, what seems like a past life, and he is just trying to collect his thoughts. He gets approached by this young lady and these three little girls here, and they're automatically, you could tell that they're kind of like royalty. They're treating him as a lesser classman, and they're not even going to be like, hello, how are you, like, how's your day. They're treating him less than themselves. Well, at least 3 of the 4 are treating them less than themselves. There's Vanessa, the tall young lady there, and then there's Celia next to her on Vanessa's left, and then to her right. I can't remember the blonde little girl's name, but the other one, her name is Flora. But Vanessa is basically, they're basically asking, Rio, have you seen a little girl with purple hair? She's been missing, and Vanessa's like kind of demanding him to talk. Flora is here, as you see, mentions like he stinks and stuff like that. We don't want to be around him too much. He'll his smell will ruin our day. Basically, is what Flora was saying. But Celia, I really enjoyed Celia as she approached him, more respectful, more human-like, basically, where she just had a full-on, regular, normal conversation, like getting to know him, talking to him, asking him how he is, just to remove all of the tension that has automatically been placed in this scene as they approached him. I really, really did enjoy Celia here in this moment where she actually just like talked to him and got to really know him as a person. But then at the same time, once this conversation moved forward, then we see something else happen that was also very interesting in itself as well. Now, once the tension was removed, after Celia decided to have just a respectful conversation with Rio, she ends up using some magic that she basically says like area, and then she activates this magic where she like does like a scope of the entire area where she can. I believe that her magic ability is to basically like feel if there are other magic users in the surrounding area, like literally the power that she used, the magic that she used, it flowed out throughout the entire, I want to say, this small town here that Rio lived in. But the thing is that where he was standing, there was like a magical circle that activated underneath Celia's feet, and Rio was right there standing on top of it. But at the same time, I don't know if him standing on top of that magical circle did what it did here in the scene specifically, where Celia was able to, she was able to show that Rio had magical power. She even says it like it would seem that nobody in the area has magic powers except for us here and the little boy talking about Rio here. So when this happens here in this scene, I was just sitting back thinking like, well, hold on, he's standing on that circle. Is that the reason why his it showed that he has magic abilities, or is it just the fact that because she activated the her magic power to detect magic around this town, was it just the fact that she was able to do it that way, not so much as Rio standing in that circle. But Rio, of course, he was questioning what it was. He even said, like, I wonder if they could tell that they see this aura around me. Basically, that's what he was thinking to himself. But again, once we move forward in the episode, it gets even more interesting moving forward. Now, once we move forward, Haru, he goes to this place. He goes to this area, and he literally gets attacked by I want to say a hired assassin, because what ended up happening is Celia gave Haru some coins, basically, as a payment for at least working with them to try to understand whether or not he knew information on the little girl, the purple hair girl, who had gone missing. But when it ends up turning out, once he goes into this one of these homes, he immediately gets attacked when he walks through the door. I thought that he got stabbed, but because he wrapped the coins around his neck, because it was like a sort of like it was as if he was wearing a necklace, but it was just the coins were on that thing that he had tied up and wrapped around his neck. That the coins, per where it was laying on his chest, basically, the dude who tried to stab him, it got the coin saved his life, basically. But when he was just about to get stabbed again, this young lady here pops up out of nowhere, spirit or something. She even calls his name. She says Haruto, and she basically tells him we don't have time, but I want to teach you about odd or OD, this ability. And she goes up to him, like, she tells him, like, sharpen your senses. You have light running through you, and it will help you to basically help you not die in this moment in time. So remember, it's gonna help you remember how to basically survive in this moment in time. Use this ability. And she like kisses him on the lips, and then it's like the OD or whatever it's called. It activated right away, and he did his thing, guys. He really did do his thing. And once she kisses him, this is where he just goes into go mode. He literally, it's like muscle memory, because it seems like from this scene, it seems like he in his past life, he learned some type of self defense, or karate, or jujutsu, whatever the case may be. And even the enemy that he's fighting here activates his own style of fighting to try to help him to defeat Haru, but he just can't. Haru just drops him, he breaks his arm. He just literally just like takes this dude out. And the scene is just to me, it was just really, really cool to see Haru do his thing in this moment in time, to be able to get the win here and be able to survive this fight. And it was just amazing to see, guys. Really, really amazing. But once we move further past that, and we literally find, I always say, what are the odds, right? But we see that Haru finds the little girl, purple hair girl, basically the princess, basically, that she was in that room, in that house that the guy was trying to kill him at. And then we also found out that somebody was there during the aftermath, and they had the guy in custody, but dude like crunched up a crystal or something and caused the hired assassin to die right there on the spot. But Haru was basically asked to go to the castle. He didn't want to go, but eventually he's conceded and said, "I'll go with you," especially if it's just to talk. But Flora was hating a lot, automatically judging and assuming that Haru was the one that kidnapped the princess, but that wasn't the case at all. Of course, we know that to be not the full truth of everything. Haru saved the princess's life, But she, basically demanded that, Haru be brought before to the, to the king to have a conversation with him. Um, but in but prior to this scene, he's getting beat up by the captain of the guard. Basically, I forgot his name at the top of my head. He's getting beat up by the captain of the guard, and he is trying to get him to basically say that he was a part of the princess's kidnapping. But again, that's not the case. But eventually, Vanessa and Celia come into the dungeon basically to save him, to stop him from getting beat down anymore. And Celia even heals him of his wounds. But she also basically gives him a glow up. As you see here, he's cleaned up, he's clean, his hair cut, he's well dressed, and he, basically approaches, the royal family, the king gets on one knee, to get ready to try to defend himself even more, as hopefully when I sit down and watch episode 2, he'll be able to be removed as a suspect in this thing. But who knows for sure? This is anime. It does do interesting things when it comes to stories like this anyway. But I really enjoyed episode 1. I really did, guys. And I apologize for this video to being so long, however long that it is before I do my editing. But I just felt like I wanted to do review videos for this specific anime that's fresh, it's new. I haven't read anything from the manga or the light novel, whichever it is. But it was just one of those things that I was hearing about on social media, and I was like, I'll check it out. But because I checked it out, I was like, nah, let me just do a review videos for it. So this is my review of episode 1 of Spirit Chronicles, guys. What did you all think of episode 1? What did y'all think of when you sat down and watched it for the first time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What y'all think of this review video? Again, apologize for it being so long. I'll try to be not so talkative during my review of episode 2 to come. But with that, guys, I enjoyed episode 1 of Spirit Chronicles. I'm looking forward to episode 2 when I sit down and watch it. And just be on the lookout for my review of episode 2 to come. With that, guys, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace, guys.